Atari and its partners have revealed a ton of products that will be available this fall for fans, but it might be hard to keep track of everything. MyArcade, Atari Age, and Atari themselves have dumped a ton of product information in the span of only a few weeks, and you might be hesitant to throw your money down, out of fear of buying the wrong thing. Well, lucky for you, the Atari Network has your back, because we're going to look at all the cool new stuff announced and let you know what you could probably wait on and what you need to grab ASAP. So let's not dilly-dally, let's jump into Atari's fall product lineup for 2025. First, the big one that we've known about for a while. The Pac-Man Edition 2600 Plus is a yellow and black console featuring everybody's favorite dot muncher. The functionality will be on par with any other Plus console that's been released to this point. So that includes the original 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus. But this one is sure to launch with up-to-date firmware and a cool matching yellow joystick. If you want this particular console, I say pre-order it, or purchase it shortly after release. Atari will not have the rights to use Pac-Man's name and likeness forever, as it's owned by Bandai Namco. So this one is likely to be truly limited in production and availability. I don't see it being hard to get initially, but it will be in about a year's time, or whenever the license runs out. I would say the same for the Ghost-inspired joysticks and the Pac-Man double-feature Atari 7800 game as well. I won't go into too much more detail about this release. If you're interested, I've covered it already here on the channel. But at $169.99 for the standard bundle, I think most people will be safe to pick it up this fall and winter. The 3 other games being released alongside it will probably also be a little more limited than previous releases for the same reason. So, if you're able to, and of course interested in doing so, I would pick those games up ASAP. The games of course being Xevious, Dig Dug, and Galaga. But let's move on to some more recent announcements. First, the hot one. The one that everybody is anticipating and banking on being great. There is a lot of hype for this thing, and you probably already know, but I'm talking about the MyArcade Atari Gamestation Go. At $179.99, it's not a cheap handheld, but it has a wide range of features and control options that really seem to have people already excited this summer. Spinner controls, a built-in trackball, a number pad, a large widescreen with crisp colors and clean visuals, and the ability to play a wide variety of classic consoles and games. Everything from the Atari 2600, 5200, 7800, their arcade stuff, select recharge games, and of course some 8 and 16-bit console stuff as well. Add in Wi-Fi, an SD card slot, USB-C ports, and HDMI out, and much more, and you have something that should be a blast to play right out of the box, along with having the ability to be broken wide open after release. MyArcade has the hot hand with the Gamestation Go, and this can only bode well for Atari moving forward. You can also grab the retro Gamepad for $59.95 that can be paired to the Gamestation Go somehow and used to play the unit 2-player or presumably on the television. And this baby has all the same control options of the unit itself. Bumpers, spinners, trackballs, number pads, you name it. I'm not sure how it connects to the console since there is no Bluetooth, but if you plan on hooking the Gamestation Go up to your television or playing with family and friends, well then this is a must. Now, I, like many, am cautiously optimistic about the offerings from MyArcade. This little handheld has been hyped to no end, and it needs a strong showing to reinforce everything that we're hoping for. I think for the console to be a home run, the spinner, trackball, and to a lesser extent number pad controls need to be comfortable to use with a lot of support in the available games. The unit needs to function and function well, and really offer a lot of charm and value to keep us off of our smartphones and holding this bad boy instead. You should be safe to wait and see what reviews say, as I don't see this thing coming off the market at all once it's released. It should be available for a good long time, and the price might even drop a little bit after launch. It just depends how well it sells and how much staying power it truly has. But everything should be answered for us this November when it releases. Announced shortly after the release date of the Atari Gamestation Go, Atari Age announced some new titles hitting their storefront as well. This is nothing new, as Atari Age often announces and sells games at PRGE, but the offers between the website and PRGE are different. If you're heading to PRGE, you'll get new titles a year in advance compared to the website, and this trend continues as the majority of these games have been available at conventions for a minimum of a year. There are 15 new games in total on the website, and some of the standouts are Alakabeth, World of Doom for the Intellivision, AWA Anthology for the Atari 5200 and 8-bit computers, Spies in the Night 2 for the 2600, Night Guy in Another Castle for the Pro System, and Mattress Monkeys that demonstrate some unique and long overdue hardware choices. Mattress Monkeys can be played on either the 2600 or 7800, with advanced graphics being shown on the latter. It feels like technology that should have existed for a while now, but regardless, it's cool to see. Too bad it doesn't mean much for Plus console owners, as you'll probably only ever see the 7800 version of the game, but it's still neat in theory. These games do follow the trend of being pre-order only, and will supposedly ship come November after PRGE. But this is just a warning, and just what I've learned out of trends in the past. AtariAge never really makes their deadlines. If you order today, then expect to receive your games in April or May, with anything sooner being a bonus. The price is roughly $50 to $60 per game, and the days of saving money by getting cartridge only seems to be long behind us. All these games have boxes and manuals, and, well, if you prefer that, then you're good to go. I myself, well, I've already pre-ordered several of these titles, as AtariAge's quality is long-standing and speaks for itself. And trust me, you'll see full reviews on each of these games when they arrive on my doorstep here soon. There are a few other odds and ends to quickly mention here. MyArcade is also re-releasing their Pocket Player line, which includes an Atari version, but this time they include a carrying case, and it looks kinda cool in their retail boxes. However, they are still the unit that's been available forever, and might just be a way to sell off remaining stock, at an increased price, mind you, of $59.95. There are also Street Fighter, Galaga, and other Pocket Players available as well. You can currently pre-order these kits with the case and the Pocket Player over at Songbird Productions. And they're stocking other MyArcade products as well, so be sure to check them out if you're having a hard time pre-ordering anything mentioned here. And speaking of Songbird, they have another cool little item for pre-sale from the creators of the Evercade. They're pre-selling the Super Micro Keychains that include small collections of games on them, and they'll ship around October 30th. You can get Asteroids, which includes Gravatar and Yar's Revenge, Burger Time, which includes Karate Champ and Side Pocket, Centipede, which has the obligatory Millipede and Crystal Castles, and a Space Invaders unit that includes Space Invaders. For $35, it could be a cool little gift this winter for somebody who enjoys the classics, but doesn't dive too much into collecting. And I guess that's really it for the Atari stuff coming out this fall. But man, I think that's more than enough. There's really no way that most people will be able to grab all this Atari goodness, and it really feels like some of this stuff should have been spread out throughout the year. But I get it, fall and winter is the big time for Christmas presents and releasing your stuff. Doing so around this time of year means that people will probably spend full price to give the items as a gift or what have you. But most of these products will be around for a good long time after they're released. But the only ones I recommend getting as soon as possible is the Atari Namco stuff, because I'm not sure for how long they can produce those items thanks to licensing and stuff. Other than that, you can save and purchase the rest, and maybe catch a few deals if you're lucky. But you've heard about the items for sale and what I've had to say about each, so now it's time to hear from all of you. What Atari-related goodies are you most looking forward to? Which will you be picking up, and which might you skip? Let me know your thoughts on all this and anything else related to the video in the comments down below. And please, if you're still here watching, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps my channel so much more than most people realize. Plus, I cover all things Atari right here on the channel, like reviews, history, consoles, and of course, the games. So hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. But with that, it's time to give my wallet a rest and end the video. I've been the 7800 Pro Gamer, a man who has had to open yet another credit card just to keep up with all the great new releases, which you'll wind up hearing about here at the Atari Network. and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Until next time, remember to stay classy, Atarians.